Yo guys, what's up and welcome back to r/EntitledPeople and r/EntitledParents, where an entitled teacher alleges that OP is too young for depression. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe because I upload daily. And now let's get into the stories. Entitled guy wants free food and a refund from a completely different fast food place. Another recent post sparked my memory of this story. Backstory. I worked as a fast food manager in the early 2000s at a place whose name ended in the box. The first person who guesses what it is gets a cookie. I happened to be the manager on duty at the time this happened and was working the fryer station. A guy walks into our dining room with a Wendy's bag and slams it down. I can already hear him raising his voice, so I finish what I was doing, making tacos, and head for the front counter. ED:
I want a manager now.
Me: I am the manager, how can I help you today? ED:
My order was totally messed up and I want it remade and a refund. Stat, I ain't got time to deal with this. I got stuff to do.
I cannot touch the bag myself or I have to throw it away, so I ask him to show me the contents of the bag to confirm that he has not, for whatever weird reason, brought food we made him back in a different bag. Definitely Wendy's food. Me: Sir, this is Wendy's food. We are XXX in the box. You will need to go to an actual Wendy's. ED:
Screw that. I don't want to turn around and drive all the way back there.
Editor's note: the Wendy he's likely went to was about 3 minutes down the street by car.
Fast food is fast food. I need my food and money now.
Me: I'm sorry, but unless you actually bought your food here, he cuts me off. ED:
This is really bad customer service. Who cares which store it came from? It does not matter. Now quit being an idiot and do your job. Now.
Apparently, this guy likes shouting now. Me: Unless you actually bought your food from JITB, I cannot help you. Sorry. ED:
I want your manager now.
Drinking game: a shot every time this guy yells now. Me: Sorry, she's not here. Won't be until tomorrow.
That is BS. Go get your boss.
You guessed it.
Now.
Me shrugs. Believe me, if she was here, she would already be talking to you. But she isn't. Register employee: He's right, the store manager is out today. ED:
Well then, you better make with the food and cash now, or all of you are fired tomorrow.
Me: The answer is gonna be the same tomorrow, but okay, see you tomorrow. The register employee starts to chuckle. ED:
How dare you laugh at a customer? You're all going to be fired tomorrow.
Postscript: Sadly, I was not fired. I ended up working almost 2 more years until I quit to pursue better employment. He never came back that I know of. Do you guys prefer Jack in the Box or Wendy's? I was not the biggest fan of Wendy's when I went to the US, but nowadays I kinda miss it in Europe. Camping trip was almost ruined by entitled campers. I just came back from a camping trip in Wales and I've been itching to share this experience since my first encounter with these people. When we arrived, we were the only campers because primary and high schools are still on, so it was a ghost town until Thursday night when they arrived. Around 10:30 PM, 2 cars arrived at the campsite and they parked in the field next to ours. I'm not good with measurements, but I would roughly guess they were 60 meters away from us. They were a group of around 6 to 7 people. One of them was a small child, the rest were late 20s and mid 30s. When they pulled up their car, they were already blasting music. The only way I could describe the music would be Polish drum and bass. At first, we were a little irritated because it had been a long day of walking along beaches and swimming and we just wanted to go to sleep. But we figured once they were set up, they would settle down. We were wrong. At around 1 AM, I took my blanket to the laundry room because I could not sleep, neither could my boyfriend, but he wanted to stay at the campground and come get me when they turned the music off. I should mention that me, my boyfriend and his mom are not confrontational people. Half an hour later, my boyfriend came into the laundry room with his blanket and a portable DVD player. He told me they got louder. After an hour, we go back to the campsite to check in on his mom and the dog. His mom was sitting in the car looking really pissed. She told us that she tried to talk to them, but they replied in a thick Polish accent,
"Sorry, no English."
and then they all laughed. Fast forward to 4 AM, the sun is coming up and we are all very sleep deprived. Angry and fed up of hearing the same songs being played on repeat. They either had a very short playlist or only one CD. My boyfriend's mom gets out and starts yelling. Moms are always good at terrifying you when they yell. That is fact. This time they mutter,
Sorry.
and turn the music off. We return to our tents and managed to fall asleep despite the fact that they continued to loudly talk and what sounded like playing football. At 7 AM, the music started again. Boyfriend's mom was angry because she was going to get them back by playing loud music while they slept, but I guess they don't know what sleep is. We waited an hour for the people who work at the campsite to arrive and we made a complaint. They told us that they broken one of the rules, loud music, and also that they probably arrived after hours to avoid paying. Because it was now Friday, weekend campers were arriving, so we all had a bit of relief that maybe the other campers would have more balls. Which they did. Every single day until yesterday, which was when they left, a camper would yell at them. They would yell back that they paid to stay and they are here for fun. The people who worked there would drive up to talk to them, they would see them drive up and turn it down till it was barely hearable and they would act confused but comply and turn it off. The worker would drive away and they would instantly turn it back on. I honestly don't understand how they were allowed to stay when they received so many complaints. Aside from the music, loud talking and having zero respect for other campers, there is also this. I go to take the laundry to be washed and find both machines were full with a note saying,
"Leave them in, we'll be back later for them. Do not touch."
There is a sign saying not to leave washing unattended and also that they have to be removed once the cycle is over. So I take them out and carefully place them on the side. Some time passes and they come in. I realize it was their clothes and they start yelling at me and I just tell them, "I don't speak Polish, sorry," and gave a little shrug. They loaded their clothes into the dryer while giving me dirty looks and walked away. They left the night before us, leaving behind a pile of beer cans, food containers and a broken chair. I forgot to add that my boyfriend was very smug that when he went to the toilets to have one of his lethal crabs, the men of the group were in there and he heard them all gag. He was very proud of this. You know, that's something I also noticed. Some people, when they do something like this in a foreign country, they just pretend to not speak English and try to get away with everything. Also, if you have watched until here, please post some stars in the comments to make me happy. But let's continue. EM demands I pay her coffee and give her EK my cookie. It's another day in the Netherlands where the weather is either too hot or it's raining, and right now it's raining. That's why I decided to go to a coffee place I have not really visited in a while. As I eat there, I noticed my nana walking by with my youngest niece. We chatted for a while and when our coffee and tea arrived, I gave my cookie to my niece. As stated in an earlier post, I'm cutting low on carbs. We chatted for a while and after a few minutes I paid for Nan's drink and she left as she and my niece were getting picked up by my uncle. And judging by the way it's written so far, that's another classic "sorry I'm on mobile, not a native speaker and still perfect English" post. Anyway, cue for the entitled mother and kid EK to step in. My second latte arrived and the following conversation goes like this. EM:
"Ah, there's my coffee."
The lady tries to reach for the cup. Waiter W and me, confused. Waiter: I'm sorry, but this young lady ordered it. EK: "Mom, I want the cookie." The EK is now reaching for the plate as well. Me: "I'm sorry, but I ordered this coffee." EM:
"But you gave that woman and kid tea as well."
She reaches for the plate again. "They are my relatives and it's my money." EM:
"You clearly look like you can afford it. Now give it to me."
At this point, the manager arrives and the EM starts yapping how I owe her coffee and how I should be removed from the cafe. The manager M just laughs it off. Manager: "What you're saying is ridiculous, lady. Why do you even think it's okay to demand a stranger, let alone a minor, pay your coffee? I'm letting you off with a warning if you leave her alone. The EM huffs and walks back to her table, thank God. Manager, sorry OP, how are you doing? Did your surgery go well? Me? Yeah, I'm okay, thanks manager. Manager, that's good to hear. Tell your grandma I said hi. Also here's a coupon for a free coffee. Manager slides me a coupon and I thank him while I watch the EM fuming at her table. Needless to say, I thought to myself, F my diet, and now I am slowly eating the cookie and sipping my coffee, enjoying how it completely pisses off the EM while I write this post. Sorry, no exiting ending like her getting kicked out or getting arrested. She pissed me off and got a warning from the manager, which is my grandma's friend. I love this one comment posted by Half Shelly. OP, you're crushing my dearly held belief that Europeans are much more mature, polite and civil than too many of us obnoxious entitled Yanks. Do tell me this was an anomaly and doesn't happen very often. Well, unfortunately I have to bust this guy's bubble because entitled people exist everywhere. Entitled teacher thinks depression is a choice. So I have really bad depression, like it's killing me. But besides this, I live in a happy family and I have a lot of friends. So I was in my school talking with my friend about depression. And here's the cast. Me for me, ET entitled teacher, D for Dora, my friend, M for Mark, other friend. So Dora was asking me about depression, did it got better, how does it feel, like she's interested, you know. Entitled teacher,
Why don't you just forget it?
Me and Dora was just looking confused, but then I got it. Me, I cannot just forget depression, it needs work and a long time for it. Entitled teacher,
You don't even know what's depression. You're too young.
My friend stood up for me when she saw I cannot say anything. D, child depression does exist. Don't try to tell her what she feels. Teacher,
She's obviously just faking it.
my other friend gets enough of her BS and looks at the teacher. Are you effing serious? I mean, my friend does not really care how he talks with teachers, don't accept much. The teacher looking so angry and runs out of the classroom in anger. Mark laughed a bit and then we went quiet. You know, that bugs me in general, that people would think that depression is not a real thing, especially if that's coming from a teacher. Rude entitled tourist cannot see what's literally in front of him. Posted by Raven's Arts on our subreddit r/ripe stories. This happened in 1988. I used to work at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco for a boat company that catered to tourists. Won't say which one, sorry. Next to Pier 39. This is relevant. I was on my lunch break sitting on a bench at the entrance to Pier 39. I was eating a very tasty fried bread and meat thing, cannot remember the name, I had bought from a booth near my work. I was just minding my own business, enjoying my meal, when he approached. I will call him RT, rude tourist. He could have been the picture for the definition of tourist. He was short and chubby, wearing shorts, it was February and freezing, with neon green stripes on the sides, a light windbreaker in neon green and orange, a fanny pack, argyle socks with sandals and a hat and shirt that both said I love San Francisco. He wore glasses and had a huge camera hanging from his neck. I usually have no problem with tourists since most of them are pretty friendly and polite. But not this guy. He comes stomping up to me, a pissy look on his round, pasty face. He stops in front of me, glaring down, and then proceeds with the following. RT,
Excuse me.
He loudly sneers.
Do you know where Pier 39 is?
I blinked up at him, astonished. Where's Pier 39? Really? The bench I just happened to be sitting on also just happened to be under a 9 feet long, 5 feet high sign with light bulbs encircling it that read Pier 39. Was he blind or just stupid? I'm pretty sure birds could have started nesting in my mouth at that moment.
Hello?
He sneered again, this time snapping his fingers in my face 3 times in quick succession.
I asked you a question. Where's Pier 39?
1. I hate it when people talk to me like I'm brain damaged. It's common if you work on tourist areas. 2. He did not ask me. If he had, I would have just pointed up to the sign hanging above and behind me. And 3. I absolutely hate it when someone snaps their fingers in my face. It pisses me off. RT was pissing me off. Time for a little bit of petty revenge. So instead of pointing up, I pointed to a public bus at the corner. Me, you see that bus? I said, that's the 39 Coit. Ride it all the way to the end of the line and it will get you there. RT snapped,
About time.
Then without even a thank you, stomps off on his merry way. I wait until he's out of sight before I burst out laughing. You see, that bus, the 39 Coit, takes you to a place called Coit Tower, which is a little under a mile from Pier 39. But that's not the best part, since the bus has to make regular stops all along the way, so the ride could take anywhere from 12 minutes to 40 minutes depending on traffic. Also, the bus only returned to the tower every 30 to 40 minutes. I went back to work and told my co-workers and a motorcycle cop who likes to hang out with us what happened. We all got a pretty good laugh at his expense. I saw him 90 minutes later, wife and 3 kids in tow and all dressed like him, with a total cat butt face plastered to his rude mug. I see when he saw the big lit sign that I'd been sitting under and realized what had happened. The look on his face and the very pissed off look on his wife's face was beyond price. Moral of the story, don't be rude about asking directions, especially if you don't know the city or the bus routes. Guys, don't forget, if you have an awesome story to share, please post them on r/ripestories so I can read them out in a future video. EM misses her kid's appointment because she was too busy watching TV. I am an optician. The cast is EM, mom, NK nice kid, T for vision tech, FD for front desk receptionist. I'm mostly watching in the sidelines for this one, but I figured y'all would appreciate the story anyway. EM and NK come in and check in. They were a smidge early for their appointment, 50 minutes or so, and after they checked in, they sat down. NK was quietly playing something on an iPad. For those of you unfamiliar with waiting rooms, most have TVs where they play something for the patients to watch. For us it's nature shows, so that doesn't need to be sound, just pretty fish swimming around. EM for the most part is watching TV, totally enamored at the sharks. Soon enough, 15 minutes pass by and EM gets called. T, vision tech. EM last name? EM keeps watching TV. T and I make contact and I nudge towards EM. T shrugs and calls her name again and then retreats. 5 minutes later, T tries again, and this time NK pokes his mom and whispers to her. EM shushes the kid and continues watching TV. T retreats again and tries another 5 minutes later, this time walking up to her. Excuse me ma'am, are you EM? EM, annoyed.
Yes, what do you want?
T, we are ready for you to come back for NK's appointment. EM,
can't you see we're busy? Come back later.
T, ma'am, your appointment was booked 15 minutes ago. EM,
it's not my appointment, it's my son's.
NK, it's okay mommy, I can go myself. EM,
nonsense, we want to watch the fishies.
T, ma'am, we have the same show in the waiting room. EM,
leave us alone, I will tell you when we are ready.
T, that's not how appointments work. EM,
I don't care, I will stay here and watch my show.
T and I make eye contact again and I shrug and go back to writing emails. T sighs and makes her way to the back of the office, probably to ask the office manager what to do. 10 minutes later, T comes out and talks with her again. T, ma'am, if your son doesn't come in for his appointment, you will need to reschedule. This show is always on and you won't miss anything. EM, ignoring T,
look NK, dolphins.
T, ma'am, EM,
oh, wow, look at that splash.
T, your appointment. EM,
wow NK, look at that.
T, okay. T walks out and other patients get called. Now this lady literally kept watching the 2-hour special and finally, after the credits rolled, she walks up to the desk. At this point, I had gone to lunch and came back and she was still there. EM,
okay, we're ready now.
FD, I'm sorry, for what? EM,
NK's appointment.
FD, ma'am, you were checked in over 2 hours ago. Your appointment is already finished. EM,
that's ridiculous, we never went back.
FD, T called you 5 times, well past your appointment time. EM,
well, we were watching the fishes on your TV.
FD, I understand that, ma'am, but your appointment was at 10 AM. It's now noon. You will have to reschedule. EM,
That's crap. We've been here waiting. It's not my fault that you had a good show on.
FD, ma'am, as much as we appreciate feedback on the shows we have in the waiting room, you missed your appointment. I might be able to squeeze you in for 3 PM if you are able to come back. EM,
No, we will be seen now.
NK, Mommy, the lady told you. EM,
Be quiet, NK. The grown-ups are talking.
FD, I'm sorry, ma'am. Other than rescheduling you, the doctor will not be able to see you today. EM,
We were watching the show.
FD, I understand, but you missed your appointment, so we will need to reschedule you.
It's not for me. It's for him.
Jabbing her finger at the little boy. FD, then we will have to reschedule him for his eye appointment. EM,
You people are ridiculous. If you don't want people watching TV, don't have them on.
FD, I apologize for having entertainment in the waiting room. Can I reschedule you for the next available appointment? EM turned bright red and threw her hands up in the air and stormed off. Without her kid. The poor kid stood there for a few moments before running after his mom. I went over and congratulated FD for her unyielding patience. If you guys have any entitled patient doctor stories, please post them on r/RipeStories. But for now, that's all the content I have for you today. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel because I upload daily. I hope you have a fantastic day and I see you tomorrow.